I'm going to tell you a really important secret, but you have to promise me that you're going to use this wisely. Few people really understand this secret. And if I tell you this and you take it seriously, it really has the power to genuinely transform the entire direction of your life. So the secret is this. The secret is really, really, really simple, but we need to understand why it's so powerful. The secret is that if you actually care about truth, you will have a fantastic life. If you don't care about truth, your life will be a mess. But why? Right? That's the secret, okay? You got it, you can click off, but that's still not going to do anything for you. You don't understand why this is so important, right? You need to grasp, like, okay, how does it change my life, Lucas? Like, what will the truth actually do to make my life better, to give me a better experience? All right, let's basically get into this. How did the Buddha end his suffering? He cared about truth. He cared about the truth of the nature of reality. How do you have the clearest mind possible? You remove the illusions and deceptions from your mind, leaving only truth, because truth is clarity. How do you have the greatest relationships? By not being stuck in your personal illusory self and traumas, which all color your perception of reality. They basically distort it. How do you have the best relationship with yourself? By actually valuing your inner world and seeing what is true about your inner world, by being able to connect to it and get what's true inside of you directly. So that's only a kind of brief introduction to this. You have to understand that truth is inherently liberating because it's real. Truth is what reality actually is. Truth is that which that is, or that which that is real, right? Truth is simply what our experience actually is. And you see, when we're lying, when we're not in touch with truth, when we're dishonest, when we are deceived, when we're stuck in illusions, when we're stuck in traumas, when we're stuck in the illusory self, this is exhausting. But why is it exhausting? You see, when you have all this BS, you need to constantly maintain it. You actually need to continuously recreate it. Imagine if you tell someone a lie and it's someone that you continuously interact with. You have to tell the lie over and over and over and over again. That gets really exhausting, and it's this kind of disassociating, phenomenon for the most part, because you're actually just getting more and more disconnected from reality. You're kind of training your mind to actually just disconnect from actual reality. There's a beautiful bird like flying above me. Oh my God. So you need to continuously create the delusion and feed it your energy. And your energy is very precious. You don't want to give your energy to, nonsense. And you need to actually believe in it continuously. This is going to impact your whole sense of self and reality. And when you're kind of in this pseudo reality, where you're not grounded in the actual thing, there's consequences to that. When you don't have a good sort of relationship to actual existence, when you're always escaping it, when you're always deluded about it, a lot of suffering gets created. You can't navigate it properly. And you're stuck in all sorts of false perceptions that are going to actually inflict suffering upon yourself. So this delusion, this kind of falsehood energy, it holds space in your mind, right? And again, you need to continuously create it over and over and over again. Truth is effortless because truth is just what is. Truth you don't need to maintain. The truth doesn't have to be proven. The truth doesn't have to be explained. The truth is just already there. What is true is already true. Whether you get it or not is kind of up to you. The truth doesn't need you to give your energy continuously to it because it's real. It's just what it actually is. You don't have to invent anything and then maintain that bubble of BS, which is what happens when you're stuck in illusions and delusions and deceptions and lies and dishonesty and manipulation and exploitation, all this kind of stuff. You need to continuously maintain and create this bubble of shit energy, and there's consequences to that. There's a lot of suffering that kind of comes with that. So there's no need to add anything to the truth because, the truth is just already perfect the way it is. It just already is the way that it is. Falsehood is tiring because you need to maintain it. You need to hold on to the lie, keep telling it, keep believing it, and keep covering the truth with it, right? It's like the truth is just reality, and then lies and kind of bullshit and falsehood is like this layer that we put over the truth, and it's this constant construction that just is so unsustainable, and it's just such a waste of your energy. So truth feels great when you're mature enough to learn to love it. When you actually have a mature mind really loves truth, right? When your mind is actually mature, you care about truth naturally, not to serve any kind of personal agenda that you have, but you just genuinely care about what is reality, what am I, what is true, how do I know what is true, how do I get to the truth. These are things that a mature mind actually just cares about, it values. So you need to develop into valuing and actually enjoying truth. Why is the truth so great? Right? The truth is great because it connects you with actual reality. That sense of separateness from reality and from yourself and from other people, this sucks. This is a lot of suffering, actually, is constant disassociation, disconnection, separation. This is a very, very unfulfilling and uncomfortable experience. That reconnection to self, to others, to the present experience, to the truth about who and what you are, this is liberating. This is fulfilling. This is self-actualization. This is self-transcendence. So falsehood is just an escape from reality, and truth connects you to reality. That connection itself is very, very, very pleasurable in a way that satisfies you very, very long term. Right? So falsehood is an escape from reality because you can't handle the emotional consequences of truth. You can't handle the feeling of truth. Your mind can't handle the truth. So truth transforms you in a very direct and even practical way. So truth changes who you are, how you act, what you say, how it's said, etc. It's not just this abstract thing. See, truth isn't just this purely logical, rational mind kind of thing, right? In fact, our rational mind is actually very deceptive, biased, skewed, etc., right? To get to truth, you need to deconstruct a lot of illusions that seem very rational to your rational mind. So, again, truth is not just this abstract thing, but truth is more about direct experience. You find truth in actual experience. So your raw connection to experience increases your capacity to accept truth and to get what is true. The more and more disconnected you are from experience, the more numb you are to experience, the less capacity you have for truth, and the less you care about truth. So truth is found in being, which simply means existence. Truth is found in the actual existence that we experience right here, right now. Experience is truth, and the way experience actually is truth, right? Just so you're a bit more clear about that. Experience is truth, and the way experience is right now, this is truth right here, right now. So falsehood just kind of corrupts your mind, and it ruins your life. You can't create anything powerful, fulfilling, complete, peaceful, etc. on a house of cards. You see, when you're kind of building up your worldview and your life and your sense of self and all of your everything, your relationships and your career, when you're building this on a web of lies, number one, there's karma here, right? There's cause and effect. That's what karma is. It's cause and effect. This behavior will bite you in the ass quite a lot. And it's not this sort of magical, mystical karma that I'm really kind of saying right here, but it's very practical. There's simply consequences to having this low quality mind, this kind of corrupt, highly narcissistic mind, right? It's just not an enjoyable experience of life. You're very just disconnected from life, and there's a lot of suffering that comes with that. So the truth sets the foundation that you actually need. You can't build anything profound on sand or on a web of lies or on a house of cards, right? You can't build meaningful, lasting things on illusions that are actually going to be fulfilling and like truly just like life affirming, that are going to give you that amazing energy that you actually want out of life. So falsehood kind of just distracts you, and truth is how you build like the real foundation that you actually need. Truth is, well, high vibe in the sense of like, it feels pretty damn good, especially as you mature into loving it. When you're very kind of low development and low consciousness, right, you're going to push it away as much as you can. But as you become more conscious, you naturally care about truth. And your mind begins to actually see, right, how do I distort reality? How do I basically construct a house of cards or this web of illusions, right? How does my mind actually like completely just get this whole thing wrong. This whole thing called reality, how does my mind get this wrong? There's a lot of internal reflection that goes on here. That's really how you find truth. So truth connects you to reality, self, and being, and that connection and presence is healing and life-affirming, right? Keep that in mind, that word life-affirming. It gives you energy. It feels good. There's a reward to it, right? It's just when you're connected to truth, there's an instinctual sense of this is correct. This is a wise path to actually be on. Why is that? Because it actually serves your development as a human being as well. It actually gives you your higher needs, right? Your higher needs for self-actualization and self-transcendence really begin to get met, which is where real fulfillment is at as a human being. So falsehood is very low vibe because it disconnects you from reality, self, and being. That disconnection is actually traumatizing and uncomfortable. And when we're stuck in that sort of traumatized state, we usually just kind of, right, especially if we're very, very unconscious, we just kind of create more deception and BS. And raising your consciousness is kind of healing and is kind of how you move towards truth. So truth moves you towards actualizing your potential as a human being. Truth connects you again to what is actually the case, which is the fact that you're the source of creation, you are pure consciousness, you are pure potentiality. So truth connects you to your raw potential and allows you to really create from that space of pure potentiality and pure presence. Falsehood basically pulls you away from your potential and keeps you stuck. Keeps you stuck in illusions, keeps you stuck chasing things that you don't really need. Truth is pure presence in the present moment. Reality is just pure consciousness or just God experiencing itself. And falsehood disconnects you from the realization that you are pure consciousness / the source of existence. As you learn to love truth more and more and more, you actually begin to deconstruct all the stories that your mind tells you about reality until you're left with just raw experience. Until you're able to get what my experience actually is, which is just pure, infinitely intelligent, empty, formless consciousness appearing as just this. And it's just infinite, pure potentiality, utterly accepting of itself in all experiences. Truth is fulfilling, falsehood is suffering. This is the secret. If you're interested in working with me, you can apply to do so. Link is in the pinned comment. I have my community where we go really deep into this kind of stuff. I also do one-to-one coaching. So if you're interested in that, check that out. Take it easy.